Oh, man, another Wednesday night. My leg is still strung up, but who fucking cares? This is COFOH Live Undead. I am your host, Daniel Crosier, still in bed with my freaking tibia all smashed to hell, but it's healing. It's healing. And I am joined by the amazing director and cast of The Last Will. But first...
something on my face.
All right. We are here live with director Eric Miles, with actor Ali Flores, and actress Maria Paris. How are you guys?
Hey. Very good. Thank you.
It's good to see you. It's I've interviewed Maria months ago, and it's great to meet you two as well, and kind of meet up over the love of horror and talk about this film that you guys united over so many years ago, The Last Will. Eric, can you tell us a little bit about that? What that project is about?
Okay, I'm just noticing now. Ali and I look like the Bald and Beautiful brothers here. Nice.
I'm kind of there with you. I got just a little peach.
Hey man, go to full Monty, Daniel. Just get rid of it. It's freeing.
Can I give you some?
Less resistance, especially when I'm going downhill.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how I fractured my tibia.
I hope you feel better. I know it's healing.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
I'm doing okay. All I do is put it up, all day, and Anyway, enough about me. How about you guys? Eric.
Yes.
What's the film about?
All right. So this film is about this guy who was dabbling in the dark arts.
Yeah.
And the demons or whatever that he tried to bring forth kind of turned on him and basically fried him, like he died. And so he knew this was coming in a way. Mm-hmm. So he created his last will and testament. Ooh. And he had found out that if 7 or 8 people, I forget what it is. What is it, Maria? It's on her hand and the poster.
It's 8. 8
will eat people 8. Right there. See, 8, that's why it's on the poster. 8 people needed to die in a certain night before this. After this incarnation, when the spell was said, 8 people needed to die that night. So what he did, this Devlin character who was the guy, is he got all the people he hated and he enticed them to come out to this like fish camp in the middle of nowhere, and they had to spend the night. That was part of the will. And if they spent the night, they would get all these wonderful things, money, cars, all this stuff. But it was through his life, all the people that had harmed him, he was going to get back at them because they were going to all die, and their deaths would resurrect him back to life.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Wait, what year did you guys produce this?
This was shot in 2004 and released in 2005.
Yeah, I was 10. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Also? Daniel, here's the thing about that. So I've been in this business for quite a long time because I'm old. And I've been in the business for a while. And I will tell you, when I look back on that, it was super, super ambitious. We shot a full-length feature, right? 90-minute feature. We shot it in 14 days.
Wow. That is, how many, God, that's a lot of hours. Is that like 18-hour days at least?
It was insane. Thank God it was non-union at the time because I would have been in big trouble. These two know about it now because they'd be like,
Yeah.
"Yo, we're in like triple overtime right now."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Mostly overnights.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
was
a lot of
the
nights.
most professional set, though. I gotta say, even though it was non-union and we did it like that, sets that I worked on after this movie were not even come close to how professional, how organized you were. At least if you weren't organized, you faked it because we didn't know. I mean, it was good.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm like super critical, right? So
we were totally taken care of the whole time we
yeah,
were there.
so I had my shot list ready to go and exactly what I wanted to do. But I also gave you guys freedom, especially you know Ali over here, who's a comedian, a true stand-up comedian. You know, I'd say, look, let's do one take the way it's written, and then go. You know, and then probably most of the stuff that made in the movie was him ad-libbing and you know just doing some crazy stuff that was just off the wall. So you know, I call The Last Will a horror comedy.
Okay.
And I call it a horror comedy for several reasons. One, because we had some brevity in there, we had some lightheartedness. You know, we had Ali's character, and when we wrote it, and my co-writer Charles Gray, and producer on it, when we sat down to write this picture, we went, okay, what are all the stereotypical people in a horror movie? Right? So you've got the angry black guy. And that is our buddy Reuben Irvin, who is a star unto himself right now. Is probably the best. What would you call him, Ali?
He's the audience
guy.
Yeah.
And he does
Kelly Clarkson all all over. Like he does them all.
Apollo. He does everything. Steve Harvey stuff.
Yeah, he's super talented.
It's a very good guy.
That's awesome.
So he was our angry black guy. Then we had the white racist guy, right?
Of course.
You know, talking like this, and you know, and we had that guy.
Yeah.
We had the two characters like the Lenny guy. Do you remember of Mice and Men? Do you remember John Malkovich's character, Lenny, kind of dumb guy? We had a character like that in there, so he was just like, I don't understand, but he's put it together. If you remember Stephen King's The Stand, the guy who said MOON.
Yep.
So he was kind of based off of that kind of character. And then we had Ali, which was at the time, you know, it was okay. Now it's a little bit different. So but back then he was a flamboyant homosexual. It was, you know, and it played very well for its time. And then we had Maria, and there he is.
There exactly.
Hair on that young man. And then we had Maria and Steve Middleton, and they were like the leads. And typically in horror movies, the leads are always, especially the guy, is always this brooding type of guy, and we've got to solve the problem. So I was like, that was him. And then Maria was like the next door, you know, neighbor girl, like the girl next door type of thing. We had the scream queen. So, you know, that you know, gets in the shower completely naked and you know, that kind of, we had that. We had the rich white guy. Hello, you know, that dude.
Rich couple.
And then his trophy wife. And then we had the sarcastic guy, you know, so it was like, you know, they go, you know, the guy who always says, well, what are we going to do? We need to split up. And this guy would be like, you know, this guy was in the theater, not in the movies and horror, but this guy is in the theater, right? Yeah. So we're going to need to split up. And, you know, there's always one guy in the movie theater going, you're an idiot. Why would you split up? That's ridiculous. Right? Yeah. Or why don't you use your cell phones, you idiot? You got cell phones. Call the police.
Yeah. It's that day and age.
Yeah, we put that guy in the movie.
Flip phone.
Yeah, there's that line where when I ask, I'm like, is she dead? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah. So we had it was an ensemble cast. They were all fantastic. And, you know, we had the wicked wife of Devlin, the bad guy. And, you know, it was a lot of fun, you know, and we tried to throw that all in and pack that into 90 minutes. Yeah. And I think we pulled it off for what it was and what we did it for. I think we pulled it off. And, you know, with having all those stereotypical characters in it, that's one of the reasons why I say it's a comedy. Another reason I always tell everybody it's a comedy is when you make a low budget horror movie, you better call it a comedy because your special effects are going to look cheesy because you don't have the money to spend to make
at least you have that foresight.
So, you know, when we have this one scene, let's see if you show it, where we have a brain coming out the back of this guy's head. It's cheesy. It looks cheesy, but it's like we meant. And people laugh in the theater. I'm like, exactly. That was a joke. We meant for you to laugh at that. You know?
That's awesome. Ali, Maria, how did you come to work with Eric? Was it, you guys were friends, or was it just like casting calls or stuff?
It was the Florida Blue Sheet. Remember that?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Florida Blue Sheet. I was living in Orlando. We had just started closing Tony and Tina's wedding. I was doing an off-Broadway show.
Oh,
and at the time, it was kind of funny because there's a fun story that if he watches this, is going to probably nudge me. But Dom and I, he was playing Tony and I was playing Tina, and I was like, I'm done with independent films. They stink. I'm so tired of how this goes here, and this is a mess, and blah, blah. So he's like, oh, I'm going to this audition called The Last Will. It's a horror film. I'm like, what? How come you didn't tell me about it? He goes, well, you said you didn't want to do it. I'm like, you know what? This is a feature film, though. It's always that actor that's like, I want to do it, though. Right. So I went out, and when I got into the audition, I had never met Eric. And the auditions were held very professional. I was impressed even by that. And then they had me do like improv and stuff in there, which nice. Because I have that background already. It was awesome. And then when they called me and told me I got the part, I was like, and then Dominic didn't get a part.
Sorry, Dominic.
Sorry, we're still friends though. But I was just like, oh my God, I'm so glad I went. So lesson 1, you never ever know. Go to auditions. Don't be a diva. But it was and that was lesson 1. But no, and but it was, yeah, that's how I did it. That's how I met Eric. And I knew Charles. I didn't know Charles was a part of it. Charles played in Tony and Tina's wedding.
That's right.
So that's how I knew him. But that was it. Him and John Connor were the only 2 I knew in the cast once everybody was cast.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. Yeah, John Connor played the attorney, which is kind of funny because now I am one. I wasn't one then, but I am one now.
Yeah.
It's funny how your audition experience is way different. Like I remember watching the room, and it was weird because all they kept asking me was they would like drop a pencil and they're like, "Could you just bend over and pick that up?"
You're so full of it.
This is weird, but okay. Like, one more time, but with feeling. Okay. You're like, you're hired. No, I actually knew Eric and Charles from Nickelodeon Studios.
Cool.
And it's funny because they were already shooting, and I get a call.
Yeah.
I was working at the Indiana Jones show at Disney, and I remember standing outside of the trailer at Indiana Jones, and I get this call. Hey, what are you doing like tonight?
That's right.
Nothing. Why? What's up? We're shooting this film, and our actor just quit. And we have this, and I'm like, he told me the character. I was like, yeah, golden. He goes, you don't have a problem with it? I said, is it funny? Well, yeah. And then
I said, you will make it funny.
We'll
oh my God.
So I knew them going into it, and then I got called because somebody else quit. And
Saved my ass. Saved my ass. Stepped in, true professional. Didn't have the time to read the script. Was just on the fly. Cool. Did some pickup shots. I had to reshoot some stuff because the actor backed out. And again, you got to figure the time frame. Okay, so this is late 2004, early 2005 in that area, and I guess even back then, embracing the homosexuality culture wasn't as strong as it is now, right? So, and he was a gay man, and he was having problems because he said, I'm worried about this. I haven't come out to everybody yet. I'm worried about it. Okay. So I respected his decision to back out. I totally get it. I think nowadays it would be a different story because, the way that we've embraced that and welcomed everybody, I think people are more empowered to be more themselves, right? Yeah. But back then it was a little bit of a different story. And at the last second, man, I'm like, Ali, let's go. And it was like we didn't skip a beat, man. It was great. So
and it's been what, 16 years?
16, yeah.
We filmed in 2004 and then we.
So 17 years since we shot it.
17 years. Yeah.
And, you know, I still think about that. I was like, that's awesome that he called me to cover. I mean, he didn't call me to audition originally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's been.
You didn't have the Florida blue sheet? What's up with you?
I didn't realize I needed to make a personal call for the audition.
That's awesome that you guys were able to, you know, come together, coalesce over this, you know, creative project back then. And yeah, Eric, was this your first, feature film directing?
First feature film directing, yes.
Nice.
Yep.
You were a great director. You were great.
Oh, thank you. Well, I
wish I had directors like you.
I had done theater directing, and I've been a professional actor since the 80s, you know, so I really understand the actor's point of view. Yeah. And I've trained myself since, you know, that time to understand the technical aspect, but I consider myself more of an actor's director. Yeah. And it's because obviously with the place where I come from, right? So I was brought up in the theater. I did my first play when I was in the 3rd grade. So I still consider myself an actor. And I played in this movie the bad guy, Devlin, the guy who dies and then tries to kill everybody and comes back. So nice. Yeah. So I always feel that you've got to make the actors comfortable on set.
Right.
As much and with the crew, I always say, when I say, all right, wrap, let's go, I'll be the first one to pick up an apple box and help move it. So they know, you know, don't slack, right? Because I'm not gonna be on my high and mighty horse and expect you to do everything. I'm gonna be in the trenches with you. So from the crew perspective, I'm all about that. From the actor's perspective, it's very much, you know, and I take a little bit of, I guess, a tip of the hat to Clint Eastwood, because Clint Eastwood, the way he directs his actors is, and it's very jarring for an actor, just so you know, when everybody's like, okay, everybody ready? All right, quiet. And then all of a sudden you hear action. I mean, it's almost like, you know, it's like that. So what Clint Eastwood did, and I incorporated that, and that's how I direct now. And even back then I did it, was that I'd say, okay, whenever you're ready, I'd make sure everything's rolling. And then I'd go, whenever you're ready. And then when you feel that intuition, that natural urge to begin, then it's much more organic and real than to go action. Hello, you know. I mean, there's a dichotomy with that, right? So I want to interrupt you. You were that's so true, and it's so funny because I'm like going back right now. This was the first I had done a comic book movie with Bill Black with the AC Comics, which we talked about on the last podcast. But you were the mainstream, you know, horror movie genre that we were doing in Florida. You were the first feature film coming out from that, and my character had to start like crying. And I remember you going, "Everybody, quiet down, quiet down." Actress is trying to get into, you know. And you like, I don't even remember exactly. I remember that part of it. And then you came up to me and you were like, "Whenever you're ready, Maria." And it was just so loving at that point. Like, not like in a weird way, but it was just so, because it was like nobody gave us those opportunities, you know? And it was like, and you could just go. And I was Meisner trained. So it was so much more organic, you know, and to just go in there and just boom. Meisner trained too, by the way.
So there you go. And it's all about being organic. And it's just, and that's why it was believable. I think after we got done with the movie, I had a bunch of people come up to me and was like, you put me there. You put me right there with you. And I was like, good. Yeah. Thank you, Eric.
And I think, you know, for it being a low budget feature, and, you know, we didn't have a lot of money for special effects. I think
you would have never known.
The acting is what sets it apart, right? Because the acting it's not that wooden, stiff kind of, you know, low budget independent stuff that you usually see. I mean, we definitely had a group of quality actors that were able to pull that off.
It was more genuine. Moment too. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, with that, let's try playing the trailer.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Now, if it's choppy and the quality's not good, it's not our fault.
We'll put it on StreamYard. That's it. Yes.
Yes, there you go.
I Dublin Gareth, do hereby declare that this is my last will and testament.
Wow, it just played right in the middle.
There it is. Now that's the beginning.
To pass. And the blood of the innocent shall spill.
Whoa!
8 to each be 8. Paranoia fills the soul. By resurrection nears its time.
Yeah! Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Calm down. Breathe.
I, Dublin Gareth, do hereby declare that this is my last will and testament.
One, two, three.
Scared? No. You should be.
You're my bitch.
Hey,
It worked.
that's
You're
awesome.
doing the robot.
That's pretty cool. Now, right now it's the film isn't readily available out there. Oh, was that?
Hey, just a side note there. Those two songs that you heard, the one at the very end and then the song that was playing throughout, we were in a band called Big Bad Willie, and those are our songs. So Charles, the guy who was pounding on the door and co-wrote this with me, he was the lead singer of the band, and I played guitar and wrote songs. Ali was the drummer in the band, so it was we were able to utilize a lot of that stuff, because a lot of times in horror movies, the music's kind of cheesy. So I wanted to make sure, hey, I'm in a band. I know other people in bands. So I got a lot of independent music in there. And I think it increased the value of the film, the quality of the film, because it had some really good music in it. Now, to answer your question about the film itself, so we got picked up for international distribution back in 2005. Company called Quantum Entertainment took it. They took it to Cannes Film Festival with them. We sold to Malaysia. We sold to Russia. Cool. And then we ended up going to ITN, which was another distributor. And then I got the rights back. And so now I have them. And so right now I'm still in the business, obviously. I'm about ready to direct another picture. But I've got a lot of other projects that I've helped get distributed or I was a producer on. So I've made a lot of connections with the distributors, and literally, and this is what's crazy is when you asked me to do this, because literally within the last 4 months, I've had 2 distributors saying, "Hey, you want to put that back out?" And I went, "Yeah, let me think about that," And then all of a sudden I get this. I'm like, "Well, this is the universe telling me, put it back out."
Darn right.
Yeah.
God, that's pretty cool. Ollie, when was the last time you saw this?
This movie?
Yeah.
It's been probably about a year and a half.
Oh, good.
Saw it recently.
But here's the reason why. He gave the film away as a prize, and you tell him.
I was during when COVID hit initially, and we're all stuck at home. I started hosting bingos and
cool.
trying to get everybody on Zoom and all together and having a good time. And so I just got a bunch of my own things that I could give away as prizes for bingo. And one of them was an autographed DVD.
That's right. Of the last will.
Of the last will.
Which then he goes, "Hey Eric, I gave mine away. Can I get another one?"
That's so cool. Now, Eric, you mentioned you've got the background in directing stage productions, but Ali and Maria, you've got a background in stand-up. Which is more difficult, acting in front of the camera or doing stand-up?
Stand-up.
Okay. Yeah.
Stand-up, hands down.
Yeah.
It's there's no character to hide behind. There's no blaming it on the writer or the director. You write your own stuff. You write,
Can you sleep?
So it's just you. There aren't multiple takes. You go out there and do it, and if you bomb, then that's on you.
Yeah,
it's a completely different energy too.
Yeah,
completely different energy.
Yeah,
that you need.
Yeah, any lessons on stand up that you're able to take, from the stage, from behind the mic in a live audience, that you can take to acting in front of the camera?
Oh, I think they both lend themselves to each. So with stand-up, I've done a lot of improv and sketch comedy and just comedy in general. So when I'm in, if I'm acting in a film, if there's any kind of comedy that I can do, that I can just kind of draw out, I'm going to find a way to do that if it's necessary. And on the reverse of that, in my stand-up, there are moments. I love levels. I used to direct theater a lot. My whole thing was levels. You want to have levels and everything. So if I'm going to tell a story, and this is something I teach all my students, I'm like, every story that you tell, whether it's 2 minutes, a 5-minute bit, it's a movie. You have a beginning, middle, and end. You want to cut out all the fluff that doesn't push the plot, and you want to have levels. So there are moments where, especially if I'm going to do a misdirection bit where I'm leading the audience down one way and then boom, there goes the punchline. I can start acting and actually bring it in, and I can make the audience really quiet. And then
let me tell you something about this guy, because he won't toot his own horn like this. So he is so good at this type of stuff that tell him you got cast in a Matthew McConaughey movie.
Which one?
And go ahead, just tell him the story about how that.
Yeah, I got cast in. I've done a film with Matthew McConaughey and Zac Efron called The Beach Bum.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was completely improvised. At least my character was. My audition was improvised. I remember my agent going, "They want 2 takes. You're a guy in a neck brace in rehab, and they want you to give like a testimonial of why you're in rehab, why you're in the neck brace, whatever. Make one funny, make one serious but funny. Maybe a joke at the end or something." I was like, okay. So I did, and I booked it. And when I got to Miami, it was shot in Miami. And I got to Miami the night before, and I got a call in the morning saying, "Hey, can you get to set now?" And I wasn't due until, gosh, I want to say noon. Yeah. It was 9 o'clock, and I go, I still got to take a shower. I said, "Why? What's going on?" "Well, the director wants to put you in more scenes." "I'm on my way." And awesome. I literally got on set. They rushed me on set. I signed my contract, got my makeup, rushed me there, and then I'm holding hands with Zac Efron. They're micing me up. Matthew McConaughey's across from me, and they're doing the Serenity Prayer. And all of the extras had the prayer, and they've been looking at it so they can recite it. And I get there, and they're micing me up. And they go, "Ali, whatever you want to do." Harmony Korine was a director, and he's like, "If you want to throw stuff out, go ahead. Whatever you want to say." Matt and Zach, they know. They'll just yes and you. So I'm like, okay, can I get a copy of the prayer? Because I don't really know it. All right, let's go, guys. I was like, okay. So, and we did. We just improvised all the stuff. I did like 4 or 5 scenes, and just all of it improvised.
That's an awesome story. I did see this movie. I think it came out like last year or the year before.
Mm-hmm. It lasted. It's an hour and a half, almost a 2-hour movie, and it lasted in the theaters an hour and 15 minutes.
There you go. On the show.
Nice. Maria, how about you? Is there any lessons that you can reflect on taking from the stage and bringing it, in front of the camera?
With stand up, I would say the first thing is confidence. Confidence that it's okay to fail, and happy accidents are definitely sometimes will change the entire scene. So I believe in that, and then just kind of connecting. One of the things is like when you're with a live audience, you have to connect with them because they're right in front of your face. Right. The fun part is taking that feeling of connection and bringing it with you when you get in front of the camera, and thinking about who you're connecting with, who's the audience, who are the people that you're, does that make sense?
No, that's excellent. Looks like we got somebody saying hello. Angela says, hello, everybody.
Hello, Angela.
She's my sponsor on the show. So she's great people. She also produces a lot of horror movies as well.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Get the name down.
good people to know. But yeah, I wanted to kind of thumb through some of these behind the scenes pics, because you guys look like you're on a senior trip having a lot of fun.
Oh.
I mean, as bloody as it is, these are the best kind of senior trips, right?
Well, Daniel, I'll tell you, as hard as we worked, and
there's Charles.
it was lighthearted. The set was lighthearted. You didn't feel like you were walking on eggshells.
No.
Yeah, just from these snapshots, I mean, it looks like you guys are having a good time. If you're doing something creative, it better be fun for everybody, right?
Sure, man. Positivity it spreads just like negativity spreads. So you can, if you're negative on the set, it's going to spread. If you're positive on the set, it's going to spread. So just I'm a big believer in that energy and the flow of energy and the exchange of energy with other people. I don't mean to get ethereal, but I'm very much into that. That vibe. Like there's something to be said about the '60s and the hippies saying, "Oh, the vibe." Well, there really is. That's true. I mean, I think you can pick up on that. And if you put a good vibe out there, it just makes everything a lot smoother.
Yeah, and most of us worked too. We worked all week long. Like, so we worked our regular jobs. We'd come to set in the evening to shoot this. This was all shot in the evening. And and you'd be coming off of like an 8-10 hour day, or some people even longer, and you would look so forward to shooting. You didn't care. Like, it didn't matter how much sleep you didn't get the night before. This was just.
And that was an hour and a half of makeup that I would have to go through. Being a director, so we'd have to put it on before we started the day. So I would literally be behind the camera with this face.
That's right.
Directly.
Nice. That's really cool. I love I'm looking at this and suddenly I'm thinking Pizza Hut.
Pizza the Hut.
Oh, Pizza the Hut. There you go. I love Spaceballs.
There you go.
There's a bunch of characters there.
Yeah. This does have
Can you see him in the yellow shirt? There's Eric.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's so cool. Oh man, yeah. You guys look like you're having a great time. I'm hoping that you guys are able to get together and make some more fun art.
Absolutely, man.
I hope so too. It was when we were talking about going from job to job. I mean, I remember 3 nights in a row where I'd go to work, do shows at Indiana Jones, go straight from Disney to Chimney Creek. We'd go there and we'd shoot overnight. I would have enough time to go home, shower, and go back to Indiana Jones, doing that show, and then go back to set.
Yeah.
Right. Like there were a couple nights, like that last night I remember just going, call me when you need me. I'm going to be asleep on this pile of whatever the hell this is.
We did. Actually, that's so true. I forgot about that, Ali. We had a lot of people that would sleep. Like when I'm not, I'll go sleep. Yeah. And what's funny is what I didn't say is when I was doing this film, I was working at Nickelodeon hosting a game show for kids. So during the day, I'd be like, "Hi, kids!" At night, I'm like,
"Oh my god, what game show?" Now I want to go look that up.
Oh, it was a game show at the park. So if you went to Universal Studios in the '90s, Nickelodeon had a presence there. That's where they shot most of their shows. And so you could go on a tour and see all of Nickelodeon behind the scenes stuff. And at the end of that tour, there was a show called Game Lab. We play games and slime a kid. And I did that for 10 years of my life, man. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It's like one of those things you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah.
That was one of the best, easiest jobs I ever had, because it was, it was the same show. When you do theater, it's the same thing over and over again. So what makes it unique? What makes it fun? How can I be motivated? And it's the kids. They would say some of the most off the wall, oddball stuff that you were like, what? Like it would just tickle you, and that's what kept it going for me.
I think what made that so good for you were the people you worked with.
Because Ali worked there too.
Yeah, I think that made that good for you.
Yeah.
I'm still back on the band. I didn't know he was the drummer in the band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I knew you guys all knew each other and stuff. Everybody was super tight. Even people who didn't know each other on the set were super tight with each other.
Yeah, Daniel, back in the 90s and early 2000s, Orlando really had a strong film and television presence. It was going to be Hollywood East. And unfortunately, what happened is probably after the mid 2000s, Florida took away their tax incentive. So when they took away their tax incentive, all the film industry went, well, forget it. We're going to go someplace else, and I can go to Georgia and get 35 cents on my dollar back. Yeah. So I'm going to shoot there, and that's what happened to Florida, man. It's a shame, because it was really more of a lobbyist type of issue.
Yeah.
Because the Koch brothers out of Georgia wanted production in Georgia because it would help their business. So they lobbied a lot of people in Florida, a lot of the state senators and congressmen, to get rid of the tax incentive. And so we're still fighting that and trying to battle that now. We do have a couple of tax incentives on local levels, on county levels. Hillsborough County, which is out in Tampa, has one. Miami-Dade has one. So, and then there's a lot of people that were here when the explosion was happening, that got roots, and then when it left, are like, well, I'm not going to leave. I'm rooted here, right? And I'm one of those people. I'm still in Orlando, but I do a lot of business in LA. I fly out and do all that stuff, but my home base is here. And so you have a lot of people that want to help each other out. So you have this, you're going to get this tax break, but you're going to pay this for this person. Whereas if you shoot here, this person's going to give you a discounted rate because they want to shoot in their hometown.
Yeah. We're Colorado has been experiencing that for forever. We once upon a time had a tax incentive. I think the last big tax incentive that we
had. You have another type of incentive that draws people to Colorado.
And marijuana. Florida. Isn't Florida legalized yet? I thought everybody. Medical. You're on your way. Give it another 5 years or so.
We are.
Yeah. California is, and Ollie, where are you at?
I'm in Orlando.
Oh, okay. So you're basically a few blocks away from Eric, right?
Yeah, I'm like 5 minutes away from Eric.
I lived there for 8 years.
Buddies now. We work out together.
But a few years ago, Hateful Eight shot here. I had a bunch of buddies that were able to get jobs on there, but those wiped out the tax incentives, so nothing else got those. So it was just basically that film and maybe a Robert Redford movie too, which is great. But for the local talent, there wasn't anything left over. But we still are kind of trying to do film and television, and I mean, it sounds like you guys are too. So.
Yeah, man, I got a lot of stuff going on right now. Yeah. I don't know if you ever want to check me out, Eric Miles, on IMDb. If you have IMDb Pro,
sorry,
if you have IMDb Pro, you can see I've got a ton of stuff in development. I've been very fortunate. Being an entertainment attorney has opened a lot of doors for me. Creatively, you wouldn't think that those two tie, but because I have that background of acting and directing, and then I became an entertainment attorney. I walk into situations where people are looking at me as an attorney, and then they find out my background and how creative I am, and they're like, "Well, why don't you, instead of just being an attorney, why don't you produce? Why don't you produce this with us?" Right. And then so I've got a couple people that I'm working with. one of the guys is Michael Grace. Speaking of horror, and you're a horror fan, Michael Grace wrote Poltergeist.
Sweet.
Oh
Awesome.
Okay. So he's a good buddy of mine. So Michael and I've got a lot of projects together, and we got this film. This one's not a horror movie. It's called Crossfire Hurricane, and it's written by my buddy Bob Fisher. And so that's how I met Michael. And then when I met Michael, again, he's looking at me as an attorney. We start talking. He finds out that I write. I send him some of my scripts. He liked that. He wants to write with me. And then he's like, let's do some stuff together. I said, great. And he goes, I've got this movie called Death Noise. I said, okay, what is it? He said, he goes, here's the hook. There's a 15-year-old girl who wrote it out of Canada. She's like a prodigy. Okay. And she's won awards and all this stuff. And she's a fan of Michael's. And so she contacted him and said, hey, would you mind reading my script? And he read it and he went, holy shit, this is good. And so he optioned it. And then, because I'm doing some other project with him, he said, Eric, I want you to direct this picture. So I said, great. So I'm halfway through my storyboards already. Maria, as you know, preparing. So I'm already halfway through my storyboards. Yeah. And we've got Buffalo 8 is on with us. So Buffalo 8 is taking on their co-production with us. Matthew Helderman is the owner of that company, and he's on as an executive producer. And we just got our casting director, and we made an offer to Nick Cage. He said no, but not because he didn't like the script. He didn't feel like doing a horror movie at this point. So he just said, I'm not interested in that genre right now. But it wasn't anything about our project. So that's the kind of people we're going after right now. Sweet. And we're hoping to shoot it probably, I would say, early Q2, maybe.
Nice.
In the Q1, Q2. So next year.
Is that what we're calling it now? Q2? Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Quarter two.
Quarter, Q2.
Yeah. Q2.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So much, talent out there, doesn't realize, that, it's not a bad idea to have that business or legal background. I mean, it's going to help you, push through your project and also, avoid any pitfalls too.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I became an entertainment attorney, Daniel. So I got screwed over in some business deals in the entertainment business and lost $85,000 on this one deal. And I went and I sued them and was in federal court for 5 years. And after everything was said and done and we settled out, after I paid everybody that I had to pay, I only got $5,000 back. So I went, I'm never going to let this happen to me again. And I'm never going to let it to anybody that I work with happen to them. Cool. So I pulled all the projects that I had. I applied to law school. I got accepted. I went to law school and I put the blinders on and said, I'm going to be a lawyer. And I went down that road. And then, you always are going to come back to your passion.
Yeah.
In life, to be happy, you're going to come back to your passion. So for me, I kind of made a left turn when I was an attorney, and I ended up becoming a prosecutor for a little while. And then I was like doing mortgage foreclosure defense. And I literally got like fat, like huge. I'm only 5'9" and I weighed 270 pounds. And it was because I wasn't happy, right? Because why? I wasn't doing what my passion is, which is this industry, right? So I had to redirect myself, and I left the firm that I was with, opened up my own practice, got a teaching job. I teach at Full Sail University. Go Full Sail. Yeah, that's a shout out.
Hey, I love Full Sail.
Yeah, so I teach in their master's program, the entertainment business. I teach negotiation and deal making. And so I got back into that. And then I started tapping into my friends that, like Ali. I'm like, Ali, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this. And trying to get creative again, So I've got a ton of projects. Another person I'm working with was Rowdy Harrington. Rowdy Harrington directed Roadhouse.
Wow.
He did Striking Distance with Bruce Willis.
Oh, cool.
So I got some projects with him and his producing partner, Kim Dawson, who was the producer on all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies.
Oh, freaking
so, yeah, man. So I got those guys. So those are the people that I'm working with as we're moving forward. So it's really exciting for me as I I don't know, it's like a second chance in life. I lost all this weight. I lost 85 pounds in a year. I went completely vegan, so no meat, nothing. And I said, you know what? I'm getting a second chance. I got to follow my passion. I got to follow my dreams. I got to follow what sets me on fire. And that's this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome.
So glad you're back.
Yes. With that, let's throw some fantastic, disgusting stuff at the screen.
Let's go for it.
Oh, what is this? There we go.
Well, that came from my room.
We should check it out.
You go first.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
She's still alive?
No.
There it is.
Guys, what does that mean?
3. What are you, a detective now or something?
Which one of you motherfuckers did this shit?
All right, now let's not get crazy.
Someone's dead here, hello? Yeah! Where is that rich guy and his girlfriend, George?
You know what? Good question, Lee. Where are Rich bitches at, huh? Let's go.
Just made that character. Oh my god.
This shot here, this is my homage to Hitchcock.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
that was
Yeah.
amazing.
So I'm influenced by a ton of people, but like Hitchcock, I just, he's the master of suspense. So I just love
Oh,
him,
yeah. Yeah, most definitely. We're getting a few more comments coming in. Of course, Angela chimed in. The best incentives ever, Rocky Mountain High. Going back to our taxes in Colorado. Yeah.
As opposed to Rocky Mountain oysters. Those are way worse. Way worse.
Yep. Yeah. Those definitely. I don't recommend them. And then she was also commenting, after Mandy, he is Cage raged out.
Yep.
Commenting on Nick Cage, but Jake chimed in, preach it. I think referencing, your legal background as well as your filmmaking chops too.
Also looks like he's got a guitar too. So
Yeah, it looks like a Strat.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I'm a Les Paul guy myself, but I love Strats too. That's my first guitar was a Strat.
Oh, nice. My
favorite thing about that clip is seeing Ruben like really stretch himself and
I hope he sees this. Oh my god.
That's just
I can tell you there weren't that many fucks in the original script.
Those were all improvised.
Oh my god. This was, this was the first movie. I don't stick my middle finger up. It was like this whole superstitious thing when I was a kid that I had stuck my middle finger up at a girl at school that was bullying me when I was in 6th grade. And that night I came home and my sister got in a horrible car accident and smashed up the Datsun that we had. And she walked out. She didn't have a scratch on her. And they looked at the accidents that she should have been dead. And the devout Catholic upbringing that the Sicilian Italian family that I had gave me, I thought, oh my God, it's because I swore. It's because when you stick up your middle finger, it means F you to God. And I never did it again. And then Eric was like on set and he's like, I want you to flip them off. And I'm like, so he's like, can I have a moment, please?
Didn't we have?
Listen, this is just for the movie.
Didn't we have a moment where we were teaching you how to shoot a bird?
Yes.
It was
Well, because
so
the
bad.
problem is that if you don't, I still to this day use my 4th finger. Nobody ever picks it up, but I always use my 4th fingers because that was the only way I would do it. But my middle finger will not extend correct. I'm a piano player too, by the way. But my middle finger will not extend the way everybody else's does, where the 2 finger, because I don't use it. So if you watch the film, you guys did a great job. Teach me how to flip up. But it was so great because that was also the same scene that Charles was in, where, and this was like a great learning moment, and everybody, we were so exhausted, we couldn't stop laughing at each other, but we had got to a point where everybody was laughing so hard, we were like, why the hell are we even laughing? It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, just punch drunk, tired, not because we were drunk, just tired, just laughing hysterically. We're like, okay, let's do this. Charles comes up and his character starts to try to grab my butt, grab my ass, you know? And so he was like, so I get him in the arm and then I smack him across the face. Well, the first time I did it, I hit Charles so damn hard that I shocked myself, and his face, and you could see his skin turning red. And I went, oh my God. And I looked right at the camera, right at Eric, everybody. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And Eric goes, why? Why did you move? Don't move. Yeah. That was perfect, Maria. Just keep going. Don't stop. And that's an amateur move from an actress. And
so then I made them do the scene 5 or 6 more times.
Good.
And he had already gotten the tape.
Like, that's what you get, Charles.
Yeah, oh my God. And Charles said to me, he goes, Maria, do you know that night? He goes, I couldn't sleep. He goes, my face was on fire the whole night.
We had a scene with him that he had to do, his character had to do some cocaine.
Yeah.
We weren't using cocaine. So we used powdered sugar.
Still get a buzz.
And he was supposed to fake it. And he really sniffed up the powdered sugar. He was like,
oh, he really did. He really did one of those. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is absolutely hilarious. Oh God.
There were so many moments on that set that we just laughed our, you know, and sometimes like I felt bad because sometimes Eric be like, okay, so, you know, but it was incredible to work on this stuff. And I gotta say, you know, coming back to the whole comment that you made about, you know, it was an independent film and how does this work? And, you know, like not how does it work, but, you know, like for what we did and the money that we had. Listen, people watched this she and got into it so much. So my ma, and Ma, if you're watching this or she's gonna watch recorded, I don't know if she get onto YouTube. Hi, Ma. Hi, Ma. But I sat down with her, like we watched the movie when we got the DVD and everything. And she was literally screaming and yelling at the TV. And she was like, oh my God, use your cell phone. You have a cell phone. It's on you. Use the cell phone. I don't understand, Maria. I mean, honestly, Maria, why are you not using your phone? I'm like, Ma, I'm right here, but you're watching the screen. Like she was so into it. And that just speaks volumes for you guys that created it, because here's a woman that doesn't watch horror films, and she was so in. And it was just like, and everybody that I, like I said before, had watched it was just really like, oh my God. So, you know, you might have thought that your piece was low budget, but even the, like, if you show the one with the, if you want to show that one next, and we can release Ali for a second. But it was one of these things where, you know, your special effects, you use the Universal Studios guys that put together the special effects for Halloween Horror Nights. And I'm going to say this, and I don't care how much trouble I get in for. There are nobody I have ever met than like the actors from Disney and Universal Studios in Orlando. These people, you guys are incredible actors and artists to work with. I have not seen that here in Los Angeles. It's a totally different dynamic here. It's a very big separation between film, theater, and theme parks. And there, you were all of it. You were theater, you were film, and you were on it, live production. And those special effects that you guys had, Tim Hayes.
Tim Hayes, give a shout out to Tim.
Yeah, Tim Hayes.
He's working on he's worked on The Walking Dead since. So.
Yeah, I believe it. He was incredible to work with. I mean, the picture that you saw, like with, you know, Charles with the, you know, the knife in his eye. He came to catering.
He's doing this on a micro budget, right?
Yeah.
So it's what we gave him to work with was like this, and to be able to pull off what he did with that was it
I mean, the special effects were just. I mean, it was funny, like watching the movie. It was just like, oh my God, you know, because we knew what it looked like on set, and it looked believable on set. It was so easy to fall into character when these moments were happening with the blood and everything, because it felt so real. He made it so real. It was
fish camp was creepy.
What's that?
The fish camp where we shot most of the movie.
Yeah, oh my God, the camp so helped. That was so helpful.
That was creepy, man.
Scary. That was so crazy.
It was perfect horror film
Yeah.
Like you always
Yeah.
felt, whether we were shooting a movie or not. I mean, I felt bad for the people that actually came to
Stay
camp.
there.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if Jason comes out of the water and kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want to go anywhere
Interesting.
without somebody. I didn't want to go
Yeah.
anywhere. It's like, you're coming with me, right?
Nice.
Yeah, it was strange. Especially we went into this. There was this one room. I said, "Look, I told the guy who owned it. I said I need a space like a living room and stuff." He goes, "Well, I got this one space that my parents used to live in."
Oh no!
And he goes, "But I haven't been in there in years."
Oh my God, it was so crazy.
And it was like this secret like apartment in a warehouse. It's like think of a warehouse and how a warehouse looks, and it's all just like. And then there was like these walls.
Yeah.
And the door, and you open it up, and it was like a house in the middle.
Funny enough, I used to live in something like that.
Oh my gosh! And
Do you remember the melted? I just remember
melted gloves.
The melted gloves. They had rubber gloves that were hanging over the sink, and they were just melted.
They melted.
Yeah, bad things happened there. None of that happened at my
You're
own house.
And that was the climax of the movie we shot in there too.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's when I found out I died.
Speaking of which, let's play some brain action.
All right.
Yeah.
Do
Billy
it.
Run.
Yeah.
Hear that?
Let's go check it out. Check it out. Okay.
Lenny? Lenny?
Mom.
No, Lenny. It's Heather. Are you okay?
Where's George?
He's inside.
Tell George. I'm sorry. He looks so pale.
Oh, keep it going. Keep it going. Does it stop?
Nope, that's the end of the clip.
Oh, you didn't see the brain come out.
Oh.
Oh,
There's the brain coming out. Take
Well,
that
I'm
more
gonna
like
have to wait
Daniel,
until we
you cut that
re-release
clip.
No, that's where it stopped. It looks like. Yeah, sorry.
Your computer stopped. Ah. Now it goes, the brain comes out.
so what's funny? Well, I can talk about that piece of his back of his head that she pulls off. Tim made that out of a rubber sink stopper. You know, like when you want to fill up a tub or something. So
Yeah.
this rubber thing, and then he glued hair on it and put blood like on the front of it. So when she pulled it off, and then what happens is this brain pops out the back of his head. It just slides out.
Yeah, it's on the thing I gave you, Daniel. I'm so sad. That
Sorry.
was for your viewers.
But man, no, this has been a lot of fun having you guys on here, chatting about this, about the last will and kind of reminiscing. It's like a high school reunion, only cool,
Yeah,
and with people that you want to reconnect with. So
now this was a low budget film, but we did have a big name in there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
We had Joey Fatone's dad, Big
Oh.
Joe.
We did.
Yeah. Joey Fatone from NSYNC, his father played the sheriff. That's right. Yeah.
nice.
That was
Oh,
very fun.
That's
Oh my
cool.
God.
And it sounds like too in Orlando you've got this amazing creative community that just cross pollinates and just
Yeah.
informs and influences each other. That's
And a lot of them moved out to LA when I got here. So like you were saying, everything pulled out, like everything pulled out of Florida. I would have never left. I left in 2008, and I've been out here in LA for 12 long, wonderful years. But I was funny because the first year I got here, it was like, do you know so-and-so? You know so-and-so? And they called it the Orlando Mafia. It was a big joke. And there's so many people out here. And when I did the podcast with Daniel, I, had thanked Tim Powell. Tim Powell was one of the bigger bookers, and he was responsible for all the reels and teaching people and whatnot. And he came out here, and he's who made Rita Guida possible, the show that I do. And these are Orlando people, and it's true. Like Orlando really, like even if you don't know each other, somehow you know each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's funny because my daughter, she has said this to me on several occasions, but she was doing Thespians So she had a competition. She was doing theater, and apparently all of her judges knew me. And so she came up to me. She goes, "Why do you know everybody?" And I just had to look at her and go, "Cause your dad's fucking awesome." That's
You are.
The
You are
truth.
too.
Of course.
like
Yeah.
just
Oh my
Duh.
God.
That's
No.
great.
Well, definitely
Yeah.
keep up with us, Daniel. You know, now that we met, you keep up with us. You can see, you can go to my website, milesmediaentertainment.com. Check me out. I got stuff up on there. Check me out on IMDb Pro. You can see all the stuff that I'm working on, and you know, my contact information is on there too. So yeah,
Cool.
it's all about networking and meeting people and making these things happen on an independent level, man. Film is collaborative. You can't be a solo artist. You gotta, and so you stretch your wings out, you meet the people you can meet, and you make good stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And you did a great job casting, Eric. I mean, Ali, absolutely, you know, but you and like just the cast that we had, I do, before we go, I have to say it has been an honor and a pleasure. And I told Eric this earlier, and I just want to say this because I have kept this poster with me. I have moved to 15 different places since this movie hit. I will never forget the day that I walked in to see the movie with Dom, and I was all excited, and I had the tickets, the free tickets. We were premiering at the Universal Studios movie theater. It's a huge Cineplex. And I was all excited, and I'm telling the guy, I'm like, I'm supposed to be here. And Dom bumps me and goes, Maria. He goes, I think he knows who you are. I go, what? And I look at this movie poster. I'm like, oh my God, what did Eric do? Holy cow. I was so excited. But this poster has been an inspiration to me in so many different levels because it did go to Cannes. It did get distributed. Oh, you know, we worked hard. We were such a group that for 2 weeks, it was like this little family. But it was the beauty of the whole collaboration. But it inspires me that every time I have a hard day acting, didn't get something goes wrong, I look up this poster and I go, I can do it again. I will do it again. And it's just like, thank you. Thank you for the memories. Like, really.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that.
I know we're wrapping up, but I do want to tell one story.
Go. I think we got like 4 or 5 more minutes, don't we?
Oh, we can go over a few minutes. Yeah, that's no big deal.
Okay, so it was one of the nights that it was probably 3 nights in a row where I've no sleep, and I'm exhausted, and I'm like, Eric, do I even need to be here, dude? Can we shoot my stuff now, dude? I can't move. And Eric's like, I need you for the last scene of the night. I need you for this last scene. Now, the beauty is, here's the deal. It's the nude scene for the Scream Queen girl.
Oh,
so
God,
you
that's
get that
great.
scene, and you get to see her naked. And I'm like, done. I'm staying. So we shoot one scene, and I go on my little pile of cables that I'm like, I'm just going to be here to sleep. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'll go to sleep. And they're like, Ali, we're going to go. And I'm like, awesome. And I don't even remember her name.
Oh my God.
But I remember going, where's what's her name? Oh yeah, she had to leave. So we had somebody else just stand in for you.
Jessica.
Yeah. Where's Jessica? Yeah, we had to leave. So we had Sam just stand in for you. So we're just gonna catch your scene, your words now. I go, I'm sorry, what? The whole reason I stayed here was for boobies.
Oh my God.
I remember that. So I just shot an OTS, and over the shoulder shot, I had Sam put on his stuff because they're about the same height. He just shot her and picked her up, and then reversed it when he was there. So he walks in the room, and there's a bunch of dudes standing in the tub shooting the shot at him. He's like, "What the hell?"
Sam Rossi. That's right, Sam Rossi.
Oh, that's hilarious. Ollie, where can people follow you and what you do?
Well, you can find. I got rid of my website because with social media, there's really no need for websites.
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram. You can follow me, comedic actor, on Instagram.
Cool.
I've got a nice little TikTok following right now. I tell jokes every day, and I do some little things. So they're stock jokes, but
he's hilarious.
So A_Ali_Flores on TikTok.
He's been in TikTok jail a couple of times already.
One time,
So I saw the whole jail thing. That was
Should be to stay relevant.
right.
That's it.
And you can find me on Twitter, comedic actor Ali, and then on Facebook, Ali Flores, comedic actor. So you can find me on there.
Cool.
And that's a $5 bin at Walmart for Beach Bum.
Yes. Stream. Here's some movies you can stream. You can stream The Beach Bum.
Yeah.
You can stream Random Tropical Paradise, which is a movie I'm in as well. I need residual checks. Watch my episode of David Makes Man. That's a good one. Couple of other TV shows. Just find me and stream. I need money.
Yeah. How about you, Maria?
So I just put it in the can. So we just shot Assault on Rio Bravo. Went to Arizona and shot it there with Alexander Nevsky, Matthias Hughes, and Olivier Garnier. And so that was amazing. Joe Cornette actually directed. He's like the king of Westerns, if you know anything about Western movies. So really amazing. Just shot that. And I just got word earlier this morning that I will be making an appearance now in the sequel to Assault on Rio Bravo. Super excited about that.
Good.
You can find me at, just go to Rita Guida. It's spelled like Guido, but with an A because it's a girl. So I have my own sketch comedy show that I have now into a pilot. It's we're making a 30-minute dark comedy episodic that's coming up now. So we have the pilot episode already up on YouTube that you can watch. All you got to do is go to ritaguida.com or ritaguidashow.com. You can go to Instagram or find me on Facebook under Rita Guida, Guida. And so you can see that show. And you're talking about like residuals. So I did a movie called Frank and Ava, which is still streaming on Amazon. I played Nancy Sinatra Sr., which is Frank Sinatra's wife. The movie has won many, many awards and it did go to Cannes as well. And that is in distribution as well if you want to see that. And you'll see a totally different portrayal of my flexibility as an actress. That's it. But yeah. And then my stand-up, I will be starting putting dates on there, and Ali, you and I will talk. I did book a job with the Italian Chicks of Comedy. It's Danny Aiello's Italian Chicks of Comedy from New York City. They were looking for 2 LA comedians, and I got picked. So I will be performing with them. So not sure how much I'm traveling yet. I think with the pandemic, we're going to start here in LA.
Yeah.
So.
Well, when you guys come out to Colorado, hit me up. Ali and Maria, of course.
Yeah.
And Eric, we've got some very luscious mountains out here. So great backdrops for any horror movies.
Hey, there you go, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll see if we know some people and help you out. Get everybody get out to Colorado.
We go
and Maria, don't forget to contact me about your show.
So I'm gonna. So you're really good at not texting back. So what's the best way to get a hold of you?
I'm okay at it. It's just that you guys are texting during the day, man. I'm busting my ass.
You're busy working. I know. Well, I'm working a pandemic relief. I got to take some breaks sometimes when I'm working.
There you go.
But no, I'll text you and then you just check and you'll see from me because I do want to and I do want to see you in November and let's put something on the tap. And Ali,
thank you, by the way. Thank you for having us tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks for
allowing us to relive some of these memories and laugh. It's always good to laugh. Laughter's it heals the soul.
Yeah,
it is the best medicine for everything right now. And Daniel, thank you so much. When I was on the podcast with you, I appreciate that one, and thank you so much for saying, having that conversation later where I said, hey, if you want these guys, I'll get them for you. It took me a little. We got it though. It didn't take it that long to get them.
No, not at all. It worked out great. And for me, it's a learning experience. I get to learn about about more talent that's out there that I'm not aware of, new films and stuff that really deserves a lot more love and attention. And I think I can't wait to see this in its feature film 90+ minutes runtime.
Well, you guys are pushing me to pull the trigger and get this redistributed, so I think I'm probably going to end up doing that.
Yes. Then we got Aaliyah's doing more bingo and giving away CDs.
That's so cool. Well, while we sign off, guys, stick around for a few minutes. I just got to say thanks to all my sponsors. To Hellfire Entertainment for putting us on your social media broadcasts. To our friends at Mutiny Information Cafe, if you're going to start a revolution, make sure you're caffeinated. And to our old friends, Groovy TV, and Groovy himself passed away last year, and boy, do we miss him. But also to Alien Donut Films out there. Thanks to Bill and Angela, who likes to chime in every now and then. For all your support, and of course to everybody out there. Colorado Festival of Horror is happening this year. This is our first in-person event, and it'll be September 10th through the 12th here in Denver. So go get your 3-day passes right now at COFOHhorror.com. And of course, follow these amazing, bunch of talents that's on screen here. Go look them up. Yes, Ali, Maria, Eric, and really bother Eric to get the last will out there.
Yes.
Fucking
Let's do it.
Well, maybe we'll send it up to you. You can play it at your festival.
Yeah,
that would be brilliant. Our programming director has been chiming in, Brad, and he's waiting for me to deliver the copy you send me.
All right, I will send it to you.
Awesome. That would be fantastic.
Love that.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys,
Thank you.
for coming on. And then to everybody that tuned in, thanks so much for tuning in. Be good, be kind, help each other out during this tough time. Remember, we love you. Take care.
Wash your hands.